my God. As dirty as you can get. Choke on full.
I was smelling more metal. Burning metal, not the carbon dioxide.
Yeah, and that was a choke on full.
Yeah, is this a dream?
Zero doubt.
No, we've got north of 19% oxygen coming out. This gentleman's got it filled. Because we couldn't get the printer.
Hey George, the phone's not working. The UV light wasn't working. So, quiet please, audience. So basically what happened here is historical. We ran a plasmoid generator for, and I'll get it, about maybe 2 or 3 hours. Notice the change in colour, right, of that thing. But anyway, we ran it in London. We charged it with plasmoids. Those plasmoids are the only thing that's doing the magic at the moment. I thought that they'd deep dive, and they apparently didn't. But they got a mind of their own.
What about the internal rotating vortex that's bringing fresh air in?
Well, irrelevant, because basically the fact is that this water coming in, there is no vacuum.
Bomb now and put it in front of it and suck that stuff up.
All lies. All
No, I've seen it happen.
No, okay. In a broken bubbler.
I didn't see
With the
those
vacuum
bubbler.
tube broken, it was
But
sucked
that's
in.
the question.
Alright, this one works. This one works. I came all the way from Texas.
No, please stop. Please stop. I have something to say. I have something to say first, right? This is relevant. No, after. Right? This is not appropriate time. I'm explaining that this is the Thunderstorm generator from London. It was pre-charged. We do not have any water vapor coming into the system. We have the same measuring points. We've tested both of them, right? So the two measuring points are consistent with what the test we're going to do in London, right? So, and this is without, so the point is that the results that we got before the Thunderstorm generator was put on, which is effectively the other machine that you all saw, right, were without the Thunderstorm generator. Simply by putting the Thunderstorm generator on, right, and we have obtained, because it's the same, there is no water vapor in it. There is nothing different. It is simply running the exhaust gases that currently exist, run them in the exhaust gases that currently exist, we're running them through the same chambers, and you saw the result on the other one, right? The contrasted results, over 7% carbon monoxide. Please quiet, please quiet. So we run these through here. What we will be doing when we get this operating, because it would be dangerous, because I ran it full pelt, right? And we tested the two different things. You were all here, you saw what happened, right? What it is a historical occasion, because it's how many minutes were we here running it?
5, 10.
5, 10. So it was more than the 5 minutes I thought, right? It held the charge, right? And it did the business, right? So this has big implications, because it means you could pre-load the metal. It will only do that, as George Lush will tell you, when you do the proper annealing. And what's the other key ingredient, George? What did you after you anneal it?
I couldn't possibly say.
You quench it with liquid argon. And when you quench it with liquid argon, you capture the perfect square. And the plasmoid sits inside that crystal lattice and absorbs all the energy. And it grows. Martin Fleischmann was correct. Martin
Amen.
Fleischmann has been vindicated today. And I promised Martin Fleischmann that I would complete his work, and now nobody can deny the fact that this is a home for plasmoids.
Woo! Yeah! 19.55% oxygen.
From the one before?
Not running, no bubbles, no light.
The baseline was 20.9.
That's 1% CO2. What have you got?
CO2 is 5.8%.
Carbon monoxide 0.06.
7.85%.
That's with and that's the control.
Hydrocarbons 19 parts per million.
This is the, which one's this then?
So this is the one that you did first on this one. What you want to with no.
The other machine.
Yeah, I've got this here.
Okay, now to ask, what of the internal tornado that's going into it in fresh air? Just what you're thinking, you don't have to have conclusions, but just what of it? Because it has been
I
about
want to finish this
I wasn't
first.
asking it to be
No,
aggressive.
afterwards, I'll finish this.
I was asking it to.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to read these
Okay.
results, yeah? So it's fresh in everyone's mind. So basically, you had the, 1%, okay. So we're going back, I'll go back to the original one, so refresh everyone's memory. CO2, 5.8%.
1%.
CO, carbon monoxide, 7.85%.
0.06%.
O2, 5.27%.
19.55%. 19.55 with no oxygen.
4
no
times the
carbon
level of
monoxide.
oxygen. So I would like people to do the balance, do the maths. Excuse me.
Where did it go?
So the balance is this. Oh dear, we've lost the carbon. Where did it go? Oh, look, the oxygen's gone up by the same amount. That's just a coincidence. You're crazy. No, the numbers don't lie. People do. Governments lie.
Last two.
Yep, okay.
Hydrocarbons.
Yep. Hydrocarbons is 1,138.
19.
Okay, deep state, read it and weep. CO2, plant food, yes!
Stop killing us.
That's this gentleman's phone. He was standing when we had trouble with the printer.
Now the one that I had in Raleigh for 3 weeks, testing it in advance of this thing, again,
That had a broken bubbler.
I understand, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm not saying something good about it. Hold on. Okay. We were very surprised because we spent a lot of time seeing it work very well in other locations, and we were able to get the CO2, which is generally the most stubborn, and it's order of magnitude off right now, what it should be. We were able to get it another order of magnitude down to 0.1, right? So it was an ambitionless engine according to the analysts.
One last figure.
But what you did have on that,
And my lungs, to some
yeah,
degree.
but it had a broken vacuum tube, so it was sucking.
But it just said it worked perfect.
Yeah, no, that's okay. No, George, it's good.
I know. It even works when it's broken. That's all. You put that on like the bullet list of things, it's like, yeah.
Works when it's broken.
Right below 40%
Even
better
when,
mileage.
even when
That's
it's
like,
sucking, it doesn't suck.
I want to say one thing, Malcolm, and you're going to get annoyed at me. This is the same device that you have if you rotate that 180 degrees as an airbrush. So if you have a flux coming through here of a fluid, this will suck a fluid into there. So in this position, I think the people in London that are going to certify this, they need to change it because it's acting like an airbrush.
Yeah, I think what the, well, I don't,
Yeah, I know, but
I think when no, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
But what I think the thing would be the same as what George did with his, which we proved with him. With
It was with us when we were doing it.
They would screw something in so there's no ability.
It's a blank.
That's the only way it should work.
It's a blank pack.
That's
It's
it.
Teflon
Done.
seal.
It's not my expertise. Oh, wait a minute, I'm a PhD in controlled geochemistry. Yes, it is my expertise. And by the way, I invented all the current gas analyzing equipment in the world, so
Nitrous oxide, come on, tell me a nitrous oxide.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. No, 0. Okay. So, and that's good. Why? Because the nitrogen is part of this equation. And the secret squirrel, if anyone reads my notes, they will find out what will get me killed is that we have a deal going with a very big tractor company because we can take the nitrogen in the air, split it, create it as ammonia and put it back into the ground. And there are people in this room that have the same technology that know that statement is true. It's an inconvenient truth. And it's in my notes. Right? Absolutely. Right? So, fraud, intellectual fraud, suppression of sacred geometry where everything connects. Time, space. Yep. So the distance in miles, 2,160 miles of the moon, it's our timekeeper, is a zodiac sign. 2,160 years. It is not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence that the amount of seconds a day is 86,400. The diameter of the sun. It is not a coincidence. The moon square is 8,640, because it represents the square of the sun in alchemy represents the ether. The paradox is the circle represents matter. And the opposite mirror image is the sun square is 3,456, 3,456,000. So if you minus, this outstrips, outweighs, never done before. E equals MC squared is gone, right? It's 3,456, the sun square, minus 864 is 2,592, right? The melting point of hydrogen, which is a lie because hydrogen does exist, but the whole world doesn't know that. It's protium, right? So when the whole 8 billion people don't know their sun's made out of protium, not hydrogen, we're in trouble, right? So, but the fact is, do that equation. The 2,592 is 25,920 years, which is the precession of the equinox, 12 zodiac signs, 2,160 years each, right? Time. That's why sacred geometry is so important, and Randall's work is so important, because what we forgot, because we vilified all of the, alchemy is, that's just alchemy, and it's like, cold fusion, that doesn't work, all lies. Why do we not value our forefathers' knowledge when they had the same size brains as us? It's hubris, right, and stupidity. So basically, my point is that for our society to move ahead, you cannot have scarcity. If you have plasmoids, you look at my direct matter to energy drive, look at alchemical science, which is a summary of it, right? Yep. So basically, what you've got is that the direct matter to energy drive means that your cell phone can run your car, your speedboat, just plug it in, last a lifetime, direct matter to energy drive using plasmoids.
Wow.
Full stop. It's known, it's been known for thousands of years. Solomon's molten sea was a plasmoid generator. The Ark of the Covenant was 5.625 square cubits, yep, times 64 is 360 degrees.
How far away are we now? What do we need to get there? How far away do we need to having that device?
Just keep following this path. Bob Greenier's, search for the truth.
Official testing on the 28th.
Sorry?
Official testing on the 28th.
Official certification of this engine on the 28th, and also the support. That's why this community's here, because we make the change. You can't stay on the bench. I call them 144,000 to come onto the field, because this is our last game. They want to reduce the world population to 500 billion. That means we are part of the 7.5 billion that's going to be exterminated. So don't be scared about going forward. You're going to die anyway. And nuclear war is, minutes away. So we bring the technology in. There's no need to fight over an oil field that was discovered in Ukraine. So you didn't have to destroy the whole population of Ukraine. There were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So you destroy that population. I tried to put aid into Iraq. I went in there, I went through the war zones, I fought my way in, I fought my way out. I came out with a major-like contract for the UN that was stolen by the son of the UN Secretary General, and I never got the aid into Iraq. 1.4 million people died of that. I know what the system is, and I fight it. Right? I don't smell it. And this, you were there. So anyway, I thank you for your time, and any questions?